Good morning. Oh, I forgot to let my hair down. Phew, there we go. Hope you're having a great morning. It is Wednesday, January, what's the date? 23rd? Thank you. January 21st? 21st. I did an addition thing instead of a separate thing. Okay, we're having a good time over here at my house. Steve Waldron. I've got my cat here, Pumpkin, and a silent audience. Anyway, I hope you're having a great morning. Again, it's Wednesday. It's freezing here on the East Coast. It's really, really cold, and that's okay because we got our heat yesterday, so we're okay. We we're nice and warm. And we're enjoying it. You know what? It made us appreciate the heat so much more now that it's working. So, right, Pumpkin? What do you think? Are you happy the heat's back on? Yeah, I think you are. She's purring. I don't know if you can hear her. She's mic'd up. But yeah. Oh, I forgot the extra light. Let me put that on. That highlights your fur even better. And there we go. Okay. Okay. Ooh, that looks. There you go. Now you're in the spotlight. So yeah, let's do a little deep breathing. So close your eyes, get comfortable in your seat, and let's take just a few deep breaths in to ground us and allow us to let the stress of the world disappear. And just for a few minutes, and give yourself a little bit of attention to calm your nervous system. So inhale through your nose and hold it. And exhale through your mouth. And we're going to slow our breath down and work on regulating our nervous system. And inhale. And I'm going to read to you today from a book that I had from Joe Dispenza, and that talks about this, how we can actually manufacture stress just by thinking some stressful thoughts, and how we can combat that and realize our full potential. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Keep going. Breathe slowly and deeply. So let's see. So this idea, and this is from the book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Okay. And it's funny, I bought this book when I was going to his retreat, his progressive retreat in Paris. And then I think if you've been a long time viewer, you know I was in the airport at JFK, and I got the email that it was canceled due to the French government did not agree with some of the concepts that he was lecturing on. So they canceled his, and he didn't want to change his content. So they just canceled the whole thing. So I had a week in Paris with a friend. It was fine, but it was not what I had planned. So this is one of the chapters. This is on page 98. Thought alone can trigger the human stress response and keep it going. So this is pretty wild. Unfortunately, there are several differences between Homo sapiens and our planetary cohabitants in the animal kingdom that don't serve us well. Every time we knock the body out of chemical balance, that's called stress. So does that make sense to you? Like, you know, when we're not feeling equilibrium, we're not feeling peace, we're in stress. The stress response is how the body's innately responds when it's knocked out of balance, and what it does to return to equilibrium. Whether we see a lion in the Serengeti, or bump into a not so friendly ex at the grocery store, or freak out in freeway traffic because we're late for a meeting, we turn on our stress response because we are reacting to our external environment. Hey Jeet, welcome, namaste. Thank you for joining us. And by the way, thank you to our moderator, Imran Hossain. You do a great job keeping our chat positive and full of mom energy. So thanks, Imran, doing great. And you haven't had to moderate anybody, so that's even better. Unlike animals, so he's saying, you know, it's part of our biology, and we can decide what we're stressed about. Are we stressed about traffic? Are we stressed about a coworker? Things like that. Unlike animals, We have the ability to turn on the fight or flight response by thought alone. And that thought doesn't have to be about anything in our present circumstance. So we can be stressed out from the past or the future, which is wild. Other animals in the animal kingdom don't do that. And the thought, here we go, the thought doesn't have to be about anything in our present circumstance. We can turn on that response in anticipation of a future event. Even more disadvantageous, we can produce the same stress response by revisiting an unhappy memory that is stitched into the fabric of our brain. So either we anticipate the stress response producing experiences or we recollect them. Our bodies are either existing in the future or the past. And to our detriment, we turn short-term stressful situations into long-term ones. So by reliving that, by saying, oh, you know, that coworker, bah, you know, or thinking about or being nervous about something that hasn't even happened yet and may never happen. So we kind of use our stress response in a maladaptive way, right? We can. Hey, Brian, welcome. Pumpkin, what are you doing? Okay, I don't know what she's doing. I think she's going to jump. Go ahead, jump over. She's been very active lately. Okay. So either we anticipate the stress response or we recollect them. On the other hand, as far as we can tell, animals don't have that ability, or should I say disability, to turn on the stress response so frequently and so easily that they can't turn it off. That deer back so happily grazing isn't consumed with thoughts about what just happened a few minutes ago, let alone the time that a coyote chased it 2 months ago. This kind of repetitive stress is harmful to us because no organism was designed with a mechanism to deal with negative effects on the body when the stress response is turned on with such frequency and for long durations. In other words, no creature can avoid the consequences of living in long-term emergency situations. When we turn on the stress response and can't get to turn it off, we're headed for some type of breakdown in the body. So isn't that interesting? Yeah, anticipatory anxiety. That's true, Art. Thank you. Yeah, and that can happen. I used to work with, you know, older adults, and sometimes if they were in a lot of pain, they would be stressed out if they had to change, like stand up or sit down because of anticipatory pain. So this is an anticipatory stress response. Pretty wild. So let's see. He talks more about it, but we can get to the heart of it. Yeah, the reason is clear that this happened. The domino effect from the cascade of hormones and other chemicals we release in response to stress can dysregulate some of our genes that cause disease. So we're actually, by being stressed, we're dysregulating our genes, and then we can pick up disease and illness. That's wild. That's such power our body has. In other words, repeated stress pushes the genetic buttons that cause us to begin to head towards our genetic destiny. So what was once a very adaptive behavior and beneficial, in a beneficial biochemical response, such as fight or flight, freeze or fawn, has become a highly maladaptive and harmful set of circumstances. Wow. For instance, when the lion was chasing our ancestors, the stress response was doing what it was designed to do, protect us from our outer environment. That's adaptive. But if for days on end you fret about your promotion or over-focus on your presentation to upper management or worry about your mother being in the hospital, these situations create the same chemicals as though we were being chased by a lion. Oh yeah, I'm reading. Good question. Hi there. Hey, Derveenman, good to see you. Pumpkin says hello. Pumpkin, greetings from Germany. Yeah, I'm reading, hey Jason Green, I'm reading The Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. Yeah, DNA polymerase has some strong switches. I'm sure it does, yeah. I don't know all of the biochemistry, but I trust you're knowledgeable, so thank you. Yeah, so it's wild. It's wild how our body is metabolizing the stress and changing and altering our genes, and that's he talks a lot about epigenetics, which is above genetics. We can change and shape our genes by our our thoughts, our experiences, and then our body chemistry, which is It's kind of like a long story, but it's the truth. It's pretty wild. And studies have shown this. This is not, all conjecture. This is actually studies. Oh, thank you, Solitude Soul. Welcome back. Good to see you. And you're full of life, too. I like some of your ideas. I missed you. Adrian Beedman. He says hello. He says meow. Okay, let's see. Yeah, if we stay too long in emergency mode, fight or flight is using up our energy. And this is vital energy from our immune, digestive, and endocrine systems, among others. So we're misappropriating our energy that could be helping us be healthy to the fight or flight system. From a psychological perspective, overproduction of stress hormones creates human emotions of anger, fear, envy, and hatred, incites feelings of aggression, frustration, anxiety, and insecurity, and can cause us to experience pain, suffering, sadness, hopelessness, and depression. And most people spend the majority of their time preoccupied with negative thoughts and feelings. So, is it likely that most of these things are happening in our present circumstances and that they're negative? Obviously not, but negativity runs so high because we're either living in anticipation of stress or re-experiencing it through a memory. So most of our thoughts and feelings are driven by those strong hormones of stress and survival. And when our stress response is triggered, we focus on three things, and they are of the highest importance. Okay, so what do you think they are when we're under stress? What do you think the three things are? When we're under stress and our stress response is triggered, we're thinking of our body to, take care of it. Do we need to run, fight, or hide? 2, the environment. Where can I go to escape this threat, or how can I escape this threat? And 3, time. How much time do I have in order to evade this threat? So living in survival is the reason why we humans are so dominated by the big 3. We're usually obsessed with one of these, or all 3, right? If we're living in stress. The stress response and hormones that it triggers forces us to focus on and obsess about our body, our environment, and time. And as a result, we define ourselves within the confines of this physical realm. And we become less spiritual, less conscious, less aware, and less mindful. So, wow, that's something to think about. I just wanted to share that with you. I mean, this book, I can read the whole thing to you. It's all, I don't even have to, I just opened to a page and this is what the page was. And this entire book is full of these gems. Again, it's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza. Good stuff. So stay out of stress, stay calm, stay peaceful, stay mindful, and you can do it. Yeah. Oh yeah, adrenaline. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that can wreak havoc. And then adrenaline triggers cortisol, which causes us to hold on to fat, which is also, that's a whole other thing. Yeah, it's wild. So I appreciate you being here with me, everybody. Thank you for all the good comments. Hey, lover, Ashik. But yeah, I appreciate that. I hope you have a great day. And I hope next time, and what's a way we can avoid the fight or flight response? If there's something that we're thinking about, excuse me, in the past or the future, I try to write it down. So I'll just be like, what can I do about this? Okay, let's say it's a presentation. Okay, I have to do a presentation. I get to do a presentation Thursday. This is a real thing. So I haven't really been able to find a good angle to it. Like I've done my research. I have like 32 pages of research and I know the content, but I'm trying to come up with, when I do a presentation, I try to make it like a story. So I'm trying to make a good hook so that it'll interest the audience so I can present this information to them and it won't bore them to death for an hour. So, so I'm breaking it down into steps and I'm saying, okay, I'm creating a story, I'm creating an outline, and then I'll move my slides into the correct order and then I'll practice it, and breaking it down into small steps can help us not stress about the future stuff. And then also journaling, again, with the writing it down, getting it out of our heads and onto paper, writing down those things from the past that maybe keep popping in our heads and stressing us out. That can be a good way to release them from our mind and put them out on paper, right? Yeah, thank you. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Oh, a song recommendation. I don't have one. Oh, okay. You're not going to know this person, but her name is Cole. Her name is something Cole. Anyway, she wrote, I was looking for a song for that was 432 hertz, and she wrote a song about being healthy at 432 hertz. So look up Cole, C-O-L-E, and she's from Atlanta, I think. And check it out. See what you like, if you like her song. Have a good one. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. From myself to yourself, thank you for joining us on this journey. And Pumpkin says goodbye too, right, Pumpkin? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye.